guys, it's Ciara and welcome to another vlog. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like recently every time I pick up the camera to start a vlog, I'm like, how do I do this again? I genuinely feel like I've forgotten how to start vlogs properly. And I think that is because for the majority of the last year I have weekly vlogged, so I've filmed basically every single day and then just mooshed it all together to make a vlog at the end of the week. And I really enjoy doing that because obviously you can film a lot more things and it makes it more interesting, and obviously you keep remembering how to speak to a camera properly. And the reason I was able to do that and actually film like semi-interesting watchable vlogs is because I wasn't working as much last year like a lot of people because of lockdowns and being on furlough. I basically had a lot more time off work than I ever would normally have, and so I was able to fill that time with a lot more of just the things that normally would have just been like hobbies, and that kind of became my daily existence, making my life a little bit more interesting, at least from the perspective of a vlog. However, back in April, the most recent lockdown started to ease up and I went back to work full time, and that obviously means that most of my time now is spent at a desk working away, which is interesting. I love my job, but in terms of making it interesting for a vlog, I don't think even I could do that because it is just me sitting at my laptop working away and doing various things that just aren't that exciting for the camera to see. And so rather than pick up the camera once a day and basically say, hey, all I've done today is work, go to the gym, eat food and then sleep, that's just not very interesting. So instead I just go back to weekend vlogging and picking up the camera on Saturday when the weekend starts, and my life becomes a lot more interesting and varied than just sitting at a desk all day. But that does mean that I don't pick up the camera for the majority of the week, and then when I do, I'm like, who am I? What do I say? How do I vlog? What is a vlog? And it gives me just like a little bit of an existential crisis as I gradually ease myself back into vlogging. So with that in mind, as you can probably guess, it's now Saturday and that means the weekend has started and I'm about to film a weekend vlog, which I'm very excited about. It is a beautiful day today, super sunny, super warm, so I've pulled out one of my only summery tops. This top seems to make an appearance whenever I say it's a sunny day on a vlog because it's my favourite summery top, and I don't really have a vast range of them because I spend a lot of my life in either jumpers or sports clothes. So this top has made its appearance, which means it's a beautiful day, and I'm just very excited to go out and enjoy the sunshine and just chill out this weekend and try and do some fun stuff. In and amongst that, I will of course be doing some reading, and the book that I'm picking up this weekend I'm very excited about, but also just a smidge nervous for, because I'm going to be reading The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which is a chunky book. It's a big one. I actually made a video right at the beginning of this year which was like a big books TBR, filled with books like this that are big, huge, humongous, scary, intimidating, big books basically, and the ones that I want to read but just put off because of how intimidating they are. And so I haven't been doing very well with that TBR, to be quite honest. It's now July, over halfway through the year, and I've only read one of the books from that list. So I'm changing that up and I'm reading The Goldfinch, or at least I'm going to be starting to read The Goldfinch this weekend. Although I'm hoping it's not going to take me too long to read despite its gigantic size, because I actually really need to finish this one because it is the June and July pick for the Dark Academics Book Club, which is a book club that I host alongside 4 wonderful other booktubers, Mary, Lucy, Carolyn and Emma, and the live show for this book is going to be at the beginning of August, so I gotta get a move on and, you know, actually read it because I need to be able to discuss it. And I actually picked this book as this month's pick, so I really need to make sure that I pull through and read it. I'm mostly excited because I love The Secret History by Donna Tartt and I really want to read something else by her, but I'm a little bit nervous, mostly because of the size and then also because there is a running trend in the Dark Academics Book Club, which is that Emma, Lucy and Carolyn all read the book in plenty of time before the live show, and then Mary and I end up reading the book really close to the live show and leaving it to the last minute, which I like because it means the book is fresh in my mind by the time the live show comes around, but it also means that I have the chance to be slightly influenced and get these like preconceived ideas about what the book is going to be like based on the ratings of the 3 girls who have already finished it. So the running idea between Emma and Carolyn and Lucy is that this book is not that good. So that has planted a seed of slight nervousness in my mind as well, but of course the only way to find out what I think about it is to read the damn thing, so that's what I'm going to be trying to do this weekend. As is the case in all of my reading vlogs, I start the reading vlog and then I don't actually end up doing any reading for quite a while because I have other plans, and in that note, I'm just about to head out for coffee with my dad and my grandma and my brother, so I'll catch up with you later on.
Look. Okay, you just spilt everywhere. Oh dear. Just do it, you know,
What are you doing, man?
I'm actually beginning to think that I might need to take back my praise of how beautiful the weather is today, because quite frankly I'm starting to wonder if I'm actually on Earth or if I've in fact descended into the depths of hell, the fiery pits of hell, because it is so hot and I'm just not built for this kind of weather. It has gone too far. I would like it to be colder, please and thank you very much. Got back from my coffee trip. I did have a absolutely delightful iced Americano with oat milk, which was so like lovely and cool and refreshing. But then when I got back in my car to drive home, I literally thought that I might melt on the journey because it was so hot. I think it's like 30 degrees, which is insanely hot for the UK, like absolutely ridiculous. Our houses are not built for this kind of weather. I am not built for this kind of weather. It's just not a vibe. It's not a vibe. I'm just like hot. But anyway, I'm home, put some shorts on, which I don't do very often because it's not often hot enough to put shorts on, but I've had to today. There was literally no other choice. Made a cup of tea and I'm gradually starting to cool down and feel just a little bit more human and a little bit less like I'm boiling in my own skin. So that's always nice to feel like. But whilst I have been cooling down, I've also done a little bit of reading of the Goldfinch. I managed to read 34 pages, so in the grand scheme of this gigantic book, haven't read that much, but I have made a start, and what I've read so far I've definitely enjoyed. Although I think that the themes of this book compared to The Secret History are going to be very different, and I think the plots are going to be completely different to each other, I'm already noticing some similarities in the writing style and the way that the narrative is set up. So first of all, both have a very personal connection between the reader and the narrative voice, because the narrative voice is the main character themselves, and it feels very intimate in the way that they share such a lot of detail about what is happening around them, their perceptions of the events that are going on, and just it feels very honest and upfront, and almost like you're in the main character's head, but they're really telling you everything. So I feel like there's a definite similarity in the way that you get to know the narrator in this book and The Secret History, and they're both kind of set up with the introduction of a tragedy right at the beginning and a hint of mystery around what's happened, and then gradually information is revealed to you. Now, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm going to like this one as much as The Secret History. I might be prematurely judging this book, but I just think that the way that The Secret History is so dark academic, it's just the epitome of dark academia, and also just has such a strong focus on the murder mysteries. I just feel I love that about it, and it felt so dark. This one I feel is maybe going to be a bit more focused on art, which isn't a topic that I'm particularly connected to, and therefore I don't think I'm going to vibe with this book quite as much, but I am definitely getting a promising feeling from the very beginning of this book. And I also picked out a couple of quotes that I really liked, which is something that I don't do that often. I'm not really much of a tabber, and so the fact that I've already spotted a couple of quotes this early on that I wanted to share is definitely a promising sign as well. And I just think Donna Tartt has such a beautiful way of writing and creating images that it does becomes so easy to spot like really exciting quotes within her novels. So the first one is literally on the very, very first page. Now, this book essentially lets you know on the blurb that we have a main character called Theo, who at 13 years old loses his mum, and therefore he's kind of like left to fend for himself in New York City. But the book actually starts when he is much older and no longer in New York City, and then we kind of like flash back and learn about him losing his mum and all of that kind of stuff. So at the very beginning of the book, he's actually in Amsterdam, and he seems to be just like stuck in a hotel room, and it says, "During those restless shut-up days, I got to know every inch of the room as a prisoner comes to know his cell." And I just thought that was such an evocative image, just like really made it feel stifling and suffocating, and just like you got the sense of just entrapment, and I just really, really liked that. And the other one I thought was really great at exploring like the experience of being young, and it says, "But I was blind and deaf to the future. My single crushing worry was the meeting at school." So he's been in trouble at school, this is back in his childhood, and him and his mum have to go in for a meeting at the school, and he can't think about anything else other than what his mum is going to think of what he's done wrong. And I just think that is so true and accurate of being a young person, because it's so easy to become completely consumed by your present moment, because the future just seems like such an abstract concept, and it's just so easy to just think about exactly what's going on now, which makes the present feel all the more overwhelming. And I just thought that was such a good way of exploring that. So really enjoying this book, gonna do some more reading later. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts, and who knows, maybe I'll grow to like it more or less as I go on, but you'll be sure to find out first. Okay, and then I also have one other thing to share with you, not bookish but equally as exciting, and that is that I got a delivery from Organic Basics, who are a carbon neutral clothing company who make a lot of sports clothes and underwear, and just basically all of your basic items that are just like staples in your wardrobe, they make them. I've admired this brand for a really long time now because of the fact that they're carbon neutral. Over the last few years, I think I've become increasingly aware of like the impact that we as individuals have on the planet. And of course, I'm vegan. I make the choice to eat a diet that I think is a little bit more environmentally friendly. And whilst I'm by no means perfect, I do like to try and think about what I'm spending my money on and the impact that that is going to have on the planet. And so when brands like this come up, which are carbon neutral, I just think it's so nice to know that you can buy something that you need, buy something that you want, enjoy spending your money because you've earned it and you deserve to spend it, but also know that you're buying something that isn't going to have a terrible impact on the planet. So they were kind enough to send me a couple of their items, which I'm going to unbox now, but they also provided me with a discount code, which is Ciara OBC. I'll have that in the description box down below, along with a link to their website, so you can use that to get 10% off if you would like to try them out. So without further ado, let's find out what I have been very kindly sent by Organic Basics. That's a cute little postcard. Ooh, I really like this packaging. So there's no plastic inside at all, and each of the items comes in a little cardboard box, which means that you can recycle the whole thing. Okay, so we have a sports bra, which is like a beautiful navy blue colour. I love it, and it feels really good quality, like it would be very supportive, which is kind of what you want from a sports bra if you ask me. And then what else do we have? We also have some leggings. Ooh, and they match. Okay, so we've got some beautiful leggings. Again, they feel like a really sturdy quality, like they would be super comfy and great to wear to the gym. So I'm not going to put these on now because quite frankly it's too hot to try and squeeze myself into anything tight fitting, but I am going to wear these to the gym tomorrow morning and I'll report back on how they function in operation. But so far I'm feeling very, very happy about the way that they look. And there's a little pocket in the back of this, which is amazing, for your keys, which is always handy. So big thank you to Organic Basics for sending me these things, and like I said, there'll be a link and my discount code in the description box so that you can check them out if you would also like to get yourself some wonderful carbon neutral clothing items.
I would be up waiting for you
Monday, guys. I have just gotten back from my morning gym session and it was so lovely, mostly just for the reason that it was air conditioned in the gym, so it felt like such a relief. I woke up this morning feeling so sweaty and clammy and hot because it's obviously boiling hot. There's another hot day ahead of us today. It's going to be like 29 degrees again, and I just felt horrific when I woke up. So when we got to the gym and it was nice and cool and air conditioned, it was just such a treat. I literally could have stayed there all day long just to enjoy that aircon. I just loved it. But yeah, it was also really nice because it's Sunday morning and we got to the gym just before 7 o'clock, so it was really dead in there. I think there's probably about like 8 or 9 people total in the gym for the entire session, because of course not that many people want to wake up and get to the gym before 7 a.m. on a Sunday. I absolutely love it. I try to get to the gym that early every single day, but obviously Monday to Friday it's still really quite busy at that time because people go before work. But on the weekends, there's just a select few people. You see the same people basically every single week who get there at that time, and it's just so quiet, and it means you don't have to wait to get on anything, and it's just really nice. And generally speaking, obviously I have no reason to go to the gym at that time on the weekend, but I just find that having the routine that matches every single day helps me to stay on track, because I used to be the type of person that would wake up early during the week, but then at the weekend I would sleep in a little bit later, and then by the time it got to Monday again, I would just feel so much more sluggish, and like getting up early was so much harder. So having that routine all week long is just so nice, and I just love seeing the world super quiet. We had a lovely little walk by the river as well, which was so peaceful, and all around it has been a wonderful Sunday morning so far. Jay has actually just left for work, so I have the day to myself, and I have literally no idea what I'm going to be doing. So whilst I mull over any potential plans that I might have today, I figured now's as good a time as any to do a little bit more reading of the Goldfinch.
Every day you're making me better, 'cause a love like this is rare, and I wanna take you there. I would give it all away to do it all again. Make our love a story that would never end. Never thought I'd feel so alive, looking in your eyes. I just wanna love you till the day I die. Oh, oh, I just wanna love you right. Oh, oh, love you till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever.
So I have just surpassed 100 pages of the Goldfinch, so that feels like a nice little milestone through the book, and I'm officially making myself go for a walk. Probably not a very long walk because, as we've established, I am not coping well with the heat, but equally I feel like I will go stir crazy if I have to stay inside all day long. So I'm just going to go out for a little walk, probably come back, make a cup of tea, watch some YouTube, and then get back on the Goldfinch grind.
All my life I've wondered what I should do. Would you tell me if you knew? Would you hold it above my head and say it's all for the best? No. It always feels like a mistake, another hysterical craze. I'm getting less brave by the day.
now Monday evening. It is still extraordinarily hot. I genuinely feel like I may boil alive in this skin suit, also known as a body. But regardless, I have done a teeny tiny little bit of reading of the Goldfinch this evening after work. And honestly, I feel like anyone who is actually able to confidently read properly in weather like this, like concentrate and read more than 5 pages without feeling like it's too hot and getting too uncomfortable and giving up, they honestly deserve a medal, because I am struggling, quite frankly. I'm like almost 200 pages in now, and I just feel like it feels like a challenge to get through this book. It's very detail heavy, as I mentioned before, but just the weather, the amount of words on the page, the fact that I'm kind of tired is just making this book a little trickier to get through than I had hoped for. I also feel like Theo, the main character, is relatively compelling. I think he's interesting. Like I said, I think the way that it's exploring his grief is really intriguing, and there's a fair bit of mystery surrounding his character that I think is making me want to read on. However, there are quite a lot of other characters in this novel. He is surrounded by lots of different people, whether those be, you know, from his past memories of relatives, including his mum, the friends that he's currently living with, and other mysterious characters that are being brought into his existence and maybe shedding a bit more light on what has happened and what will continue to happen to him. There's lots of different people in his sphere, and yet I don't think any of them are particularly compelling to me at this point. He is interesting, but I'm not feeling a massive connection to any of the other characters in the story yet. Now, granted, there is still quite a chunk of this novel left in which I might find myself really getting to know some of the other characters, and they may well get a bit more intriguing. But as of right now, the combination of being just like uncomfortable, tired, finding it difficult to concentrate, and then only really connecting with one of the characters from the novel is making this one a little bit trickier to push through. I am going to try and do a little bit more reading before bed and just keep chipping away throughout the rest of the week, but that's where I'm at right now.
Of cliches, nobody give life to my name.
Well, it is now Thursday, and for anyone who cares, which I'm sure is probably none of you, the heatwave is still going on here, and so my hair is starting to feel a little bit like Monica from Friends in Barbados, aka very frizzy and untamable and just absolutely wild. So there is that, although I suppose my hair, generally speaking, is a little bit crazy anyway, so we're just gonna roll with it, seeing as there's nothing I can do to control the weather. But I do have some good news. Now, as predicted, my week thus far has been pretty uneventful because I've just been working every day. However, today is, as I mentioned, Thursday, and I actually have a half day today, so I've already finished work for the day. And the reason for that is because Jay's sister graduated from university a couple of weeks ago, but we weren't able to go over for her graduation meal because it just didn't work out. So instead, his 2 sisters are now coming over to us for the afternoon, and we're going out for a meal together to celebrate that graduation and also just enjoy the sunshiny weather, which has just turned out excellently, although I'm complaining about the heat wave literally at every opportunity I get. It will be nice to go and sit outside and enjoy a pizza in the sun. Oh my god, I cannot wait. I've been so excited about this all week long. We're going to a restaurant that I've shown several times on this channel, and that is called Spark. It is basically a collection of loads of different small food businesses, and then when you scan the little QR code on your table, you can order from any of them, which is so good because it means that you can all obviously eat together, but you could all get something from a different place depending on what you fancy. Now, I know 100% I fancy pizza, so that is what I'm going to be getting. and I cannot wait. The pizzas there are just so good, and I'm just excited to have an afternoon off work, which is going to be really, really nice. Now, on the subject of afternoons off, I currently don't have a massive reading update to share with you all, because I have been finding that while I've been chipping away at this book few pages at a time, when I finish work for the day and I have to, you know, have dinner, maybe go for a walk, have a shower, all of that kind of fun stuff, I then just don't have a huge amount of mental bandwidth for focusing on this book for a very long time, so I'm kind of just getting in a couple of pages at a time. But this evening, obviously, I'll get back from the meal this afternoon and have a lot more of an evening than I normally would, which means that I'll be able to slot in, hopefully, a much bigger chunk of reading. Now, what I will say is that based on what I last said about this book, which is kind of that I was maybe losing interest a little bit because I wasn't loving a lot of the side characters, I do think I'm kind of coming out of the other side of that experience. And I think the case with a lot of big books is kind of that you have parts of it that you really like, and then you obviously have parts of it that are a bit more of a slog. And so I think I was just going through one of those bits of the book where it was just a bit less exciting, and now it's kind of picking up again. I'm sure the interest will dip again and hopefully pick up before the end. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully do some more reading this afternoon, but for now, pizza is the most important priority on my list.
I spend most of my time viewing what I want from the outside. I comb it over like it's the scene of a crime. The only guilty I find staring back
Guys, I just want to take this opportunity to let you know that dreams really do come true. I'm sitting here on Friday morning wearing a sweater with a piping hot cup of tea, and the reason I can do that with such a big smile on my face is because order has been restored to the world. The temperature finally dropped overnight, and it went from like 30 degrees yesterday, which is what it's been basically all week, to a beautiful, mild, comfortable 18 degrees Celsius, and oh my god, I've not felt this much joy all week long. Now, it was so lovely yesterday. I really did enjoy the sunshine, going out to have a beautiful pizza and then get some mango gelato and sit down in the park and enjoy the sunshine, and I did actually really like it then because it felt like I was on holiday. But the rest of the week has just been painful, sitting at my desk, sweating, not being able to sleep, sweating, and you know, maybe a little bit more sweating. So just to have a cooler day, and a few cooler days actually ahead of us, is so lovely, and I'm so happy. It makes me so excited for autumn. I enjoy summer, but spring and autumn have my heart because I just think I enjoy that nice mildness about those seasons, and yeah, I'm feeling very, very, very happy right now. Now, like I mentioned, it is of course Friday, so basically a week since I started this vlog, so one final reading update to conclude this vlog I think is in order. Now, Jay and I actually went to the gym really early this morning. We got there for 5 o'clock in the morning, so I got home just after 6 AM and actually managed to do a little bit of reading this morning before starting work, and I'm now about halfway through the Goldfinch. So it's happening, progress is being made, you know, it's still quite the Everest of books, but I'm definitely making my way through it, and I feel like, you know, I'm almost at that precipice point where I'm like past the hard part and it's all downhill, if you know what I mean. Like when you get to halfway through a book and even though you've still got quite a lot left, you can see that you're like closer and closer and closer to the end, and I just feel like passing that halfway point feels very monumentous in such a big book. Now, I'm not liking this book, but I'm also not loving it, and I think it's because it just feels a bit bland. The book is lacking personality, and although I think Donna Tartt has an incredible writing style in terms of her rich descriptions and the way that she is portraying her main character in, like I said at the very beginning, such an intimate way, and you really do feel like you're getting to know everything about them and their perception of the world and what's going on around them, I also feel like the plot of this book is just lacking direction. And if you asked me to explain what this book was about, the only thing I could really tell you is like Theo lost his mum in an art gallery, and that art gallery kind of has like a big impact on his life going forward, but like I don't really see how that is equating to over 800 pages of text. So I just feel like it's lacking direction, and when a book lacks direction and clarity about why you should be invested in it, it makes it really hard to motivate yourself to pick it up and keep reading. So I had kind of hoped to read this book this week, but that just wasn't to be. So now that I'm halfway, I feel like that makes sense to conclude this week's reading vlog here, and I'll pick up again tomorrow morning when the weekend starts with a brand new reading vlog. However, I feel like possibly maybe you guys can tell, but over the recent weeks I've just been feeling a little bit out of touch with reading. It hasn't been coming so easily to me, and I just haven't been feeling that motivation to pick up books. So in next week's reading vlog, as well as trying to finish the Goldfinch, I think I'm also going to try and reignite my love of reading and get over this reading slump by picking up some old favourites and doing a little bit of rereading as well. So that's what you got to look forward to in next week's reading vlog, as well as hopefully finding more things to like about the Goldfinch. Just another reminder, if you are interested in trying those organic basics, leggings, sports bras and whatever else they've got out, I would highly recommend them, and you can use my discount code Ciara OBC and that'll give you 10% off if you follow the link down below in the description box, just if you are interested. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and hopefully the weather won't even feature at all in next week's vlog because I'll just be content and happy and I won't have anything to complain about.